All I can tell you is this. There was no collusion. There was no nothing. It's a disgrace, frankly, that they continue. You ought to look at Hillary Clinton, and you ought to look at the new book that was just put out by Donna Brazil, where she basically bought the DNC and she stole the election from Bernie. So that's what you ought to take a look at.
Very quickly, Senator, do you agree with the notion that it was rigged?
Yes.
30, 40 years ago, the newspapers all demonized you. You were ostracized. You were over. You were mud. And they used that confidence the public still had in them to target people like Barry Goldwater, to target other patriots, to try to suppress what Ronald Reagan and many others tried to do. The media, by the time he died, was just demonizing John Wayne constantly. And you hear the speeches and stuff he gave, it made total sense. The guy was like a libertarian Americana. Now, in 2017, the media is almost completely discredited. They have a very small minority of zombie-like people that still follow them. But they will throw hot coffee on you. They will physically attack you in their nest because they know they're losing control, even though they were living vicariously through reflected power of the globalists, even though they're not really part of it and are the biggest suckers in the whole equation. Doesn't matter. They're like sports team fans. They're getting nothing from it, but they feel and bask in the ceremonial victory of their warriors going out and defeating someone. But you're not going to get better hunting lands. You're not going to get better dwellings. You're not going to get better fishing areas by your warriors that just defeated another team. You pay to be part of the simulation to feel like you're part of this tribal victory. It's why you paint yourself up in war paint, why you act stupid. But see, you're just being camp followers like a lot of ancient armies had that followed behind them. They got the spoils of war. But you're actually paying for the spoils. This war, being a patriot, returning the republic, getting lower taxes, getting our jobs back, promoting a culture of real freedom and competition, that is what will give you booty. That's what will give you spoils. That's what will give you not ill-gotten loot, but manna from heaven. And that's what we're fighting for. Fortune favors the bold, ladies and gentlemen. The fortune we seek is freedom in our time. And we're getting close. Not a utopia, but a lot closer. So, the big news, ladies and gentlemen, the big, huge, giant news that just absolutely is critical on so many fronts that we need to go over today is the fact that the Democrats are leaving the sinking ship in a really, really big way. And we've got to really think about what this is going to signify. Because even the next string that knows that Hillary and Obama and the globalists are really bad PR for them, even though they know that, they're still going to continue along with a lot of the same activities. So where should we start here? Elizabeth Warren agrees that Hillary Clinton rigged the DNC after she denied it and mocked Trump for it. Even CNN admits that? Wow. Talk about comeuppance. Talk about eating crow. Wolf Blitzer, shocking Hillary rigged the DNC. Here's another one. Trump, I'm disappointed the DOJ is not looking into the Dems, Podesta, and the whole election theft. I mean, that was a big deal, folks, and very illegal. Oh, but no, instead the media is just telling us how bad Trump is for criticizing radical Islam. And Michelle Obama says men are entitled and self-righteous because women protect them too much. That's right. Well, don't worry. Just take all your sons out and put them on Ritalin and give them extra vaccines till they have convulsions and die. That'll keep your boys in line. Because we all know boys are the problem, right? Because Michelle Obama, that ugly snapping turtle who told our school children what to eat, she said so. But let's go ahead and go to this first. Let's go ahead and go to Wolf Blitzer, shocking Hillary rigged the DNC. Here it is.
Congressman, while I have you, get to another topic. Very, sort of shocking revelation from the former Democratic National Committee interim chair, Donna Brazile, who now says the Clinton campaign actually reached a formal deal before Donna Brazile arrived at the DNC to control the DNC long before Hillary Clinton was officially the nominee. She says this in a new book that is just coming out. In exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. That deal was signed in August of 2015, a year before Hillary Clinton actually won the party's presidential nomination. What's your reaction to this?
I haven't read the book yet. I look forward to reading the book. I know Donna Brazile. I think she's a brilliant thinker, and she's a former Hill staffer. And I'm always excited to hear what she has to say.
Because, as you know, the Democratic Party, the Democratic National Committee, not supposed to take sides in a contest for the presidential nomination. Bernie Sanders, presumably, he's reading all of this. His supporters are reading all of this. They're pretty upset to see there was this formal arrangement that was worked out between the Hillary Clinton campaign a year before she got the nomination and the DNC. You're a Democrat. You want to elaborate a little bit on this latest information we're now getting for Donna Brazile?
Well, I wasn't privy to any kind of deal. We were focused in Indiana, statewide, and even in the 7th District in terms of getting the vote out, making sure voters were engaged, making sure our constituents saw us working with locally elected officials to really talk about the changing tide that we saw in our country and how we can deal with that. I was enmeshed in that at the time.
But it's not.
By the way, do something real quick. Hit pause in the last 10 seconds. I want to show people who are TV viewers and describe this for radio listeners. More and more on CNN, even Fox, MSNBC, they don't show the White House, they don't show New York, they don't show D.C., they don't show the heartland. They show Russia always creeping in, and you see images of Red Square and the Kremlin behind Wolf Blitzer. So this is an overt, not just subliminal, but overt way. Everything they do is about manipulating. It's not an Islamic attack in New York that killed 8 and injured dozens. No. It was a truck attack, you see. It's the same thing. Oh, look, the focus is Russia. They're the focus as a classical diversion from what's going on in D.C. Well, we only look at that half the time now because he's got the White House on one side and then Russia on the other. And that's another subliminal or really overt image. See, the Russia is in control of the White House. While they're talking about how Hillary stole the nomination from Bernie Sanders, Blitzer spins it that, oh, you're not supposed to do that. It's unseemly. No, you did it in front of everyone and ignored the popular votes that violate election law and violate the Civil Rights Act. And you all tried to sell it, from George Will to Wolf Blitzer. They all tried to sell it, and it didn't work. You failed. Now, here is President Trump talking about the situation, which he talked about when it was happening, when it happened, and after it happened. And the controlled media said he was a liar. But we don't need Donna Brazile to tell us this. It was all public. And again, InfoWars told you first, get the news a year ahead, folks. That's what we do. This is a year and a half ahead at Infowars.com. Here's the president.
All I can tell you is this. There was no collusion. There was no nothing. It's a disgrace, frankly, that they continue. You ought to look at Hillary Clinton, and you ought to look at the new book that was just put out by Donna Brazile, where she basically bought the DNC and she stole the election from Bernie. So that's what you ought to take a look at.
You know what? We got to go to break. We're going to come back with more of this and get into the true criminal activities. And then he calls for criminal investigation of Podesta, who was quarterbacking the entire operation while his brother and he quarterbacked the sellout to Russia, which they then projected onto yours truly, very defamatory, and, of course, onto the president. We'll be right back. Stay with us. So the president is coming out saying it's horrible what Bernie Sanders had done to him and his supporters, just like he said, as they were stealing the nomination. And then once they stole it, he said it was terrible. And then I said, if they try to steal it from Sanders and did, they're going to try to steal it from Trump. They're going to have illegals do it, folks voting the names of dead people. It all got caught on tape all over the country. Trump said it was 3 million illegals voted. Harvard said no, it was 5.7. Illegals voting the names of dead people or citizens voting repeatedly. Quite frankly, that's why they had to have Democrats come out and tell illegals, like Obama said, well, no, if you come here, you're allowed to vote. That's part of being in the country. Because on average, the illegals feel weird going and voting illegally. They've actually had trouble getting illegals to vote illegally. The favorite group that the Democrats use is homeless people. They usually pay them about $100, give them a six-pack of beer each on the bus, but not too much, or they get too drunk, then give them their name on a piece of paper in the state they're in where there's no voter ID, no motor voter ID, you just walk in and you vote 10 times on average. Arkansas stayed Democrat that way for 60 years. Now, New York, many other areas of the country. California, they didn't have to do that. They just said, we're having the delegates meet at this Democrat donor's house. They even had it in the local news to decide who would get the nomination in California, who would get the vote. Then they just accordingly gave it to Hillary. Bernie Sanders won. But they had to have the numbers showing she won, so they took those numbers at the state commission. And see, a lot of this is frustrating because they hid it in plain view in California and just said they were stealing. But then on national news, they said Jones is crazy and others are crazy and Sanders supporters are crazy. Nobody's taking your vote away. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. It's just crazy. And it's obviously a civil rights violation. It's so criminal. So we're going to get back to the clip of the president and then even Pocahontas having to agree with him. But first, DNA Force has the BioPQQ, the CoQ10, and all these other known concentrated organic compounds that are the only documented compounds where you can actually make claims, hundreds of them, that the government even says, yeah, you can actually make those claims. Saw palmetto is the same thing. I mean, you can make claims about it helping prostate massively because it's just so documented, no one can deny it. Well, this is, again, a true nutraceutical. Competing brands are $300 to $600. Ours is a good deal at $149. It is our Rolls-Royce product. It's $112.46. That's 25% off right now, despite the fact it's been sold out for almost 4 months. It is the Rolls-Royce product that we have, and it's so good at detoxifying the cells, at getting the toxins out of the cells that are admittedly shrinking the telomeres. So it isn't that it grows your telomeres. It blocks the chemicals and gets them out of the cells that basically fries the telomeres and then ages your cells so they can't divide as many times, making you get older. DNA Force. Now, we're still running specials on colloidal silver. That is going to end this weekend. You got 50% off on it. And that is obviously very, very affordable. 30% off on Super Male Vitality. But leading brands of colloidal silver, the same brand, on average of $25 in Whole Foods. Ours is, what, $13 right now. Super Male Vitality is, again, 30% off. And we have the Anthroplex special. It's about to end, the drop form of Super Male Vitality. So InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. We also have Bomb Defense, sold out for months. Highest quality, concentrated, probiotic, 25% off, despite the fact that we can't keep it in stock. I want to incentivize new folks to get it. 10% off when you sign up for auto ship. And even if we sell out of DNA Force or Bomb Defense or things like that, we hold back for whoever's on auto ship at the original discounted price with the additional 10% off. Cancel anytime for free. InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. It is an active rebellion against the globalists when you buy the products. So, again, thank you so much. Go read studies for yourself about BioPQQ, PQ, CoQ10, and all the rest of it. And it's truly amazing. We have a lot of information at InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com on it. Okay, let's go back to that clip of the president boarding Marine One and just talking about the general corruption going on in Washington and how blaring it is as we learn about the Podestas with the Clintons rigging the election, as we learn about their Uranium One connections, everything they say we've done, Obviously, they've been caught. That's their tactic. It's blown up in their face. The Democratic Party is now turning against them with Donna Brazile, former head of the DNC, saying it was all rigged. The money was stolen. Everything was rigged. Everything was a fraud. She lost everywhere. It was all a giant scam. Wow. That means they're turning against her. Now Pocahontas. Now Wolf Blitzer. But here's the president from the beginning getting criticized for going with our intel from the Democrats, including video that we alone got, resurfaced video today to Infowars.com of a superdelegate explaining how they would steal the election. But he didn't think it was stealing. He thought it was totally legitimate. Well, guess what? You failed, Bubba. So let's go to the president.
All I can tell you is this. There was no collusion. There was no nothing. It's a disgrace, frankly, that they continue. You ought to look at Hillary Clinton, and you ought to look at the new book that was just put out by Donna Brazile, where she basically bought the DNC and she stole the election from Bernie. So that's what you ought to take a look at. What we're doing is every time we're attacked from this point forward, and it took place yesterday, we are hitting them 10 times harder. So when we have an animal do an attack like he did the other day on the west side of Manhattan, we are hitting them 10 times harder. They claimed him as a soldier. Good luck. Every time they hit us, we know it's ISIS. We hit them like you folks won't believe. Thank you. I will see you in Pearl Harbor. We're going to Pearl Harbor. I don't know. I'm really not involved with the Justice Department. I'd like to let it run itself. But honestly, they should be looking at the Democrats. They should be looking at Podesta and all of that dishonesty. They should be looking at a lot of things. And a lot of people are disappointed in the Justice Department, including me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
A true fighter, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. It's always darkest for the dawn. Let's go to Pocahontas now. Elizabeth Warren agrees that Hillary campaign rigged the DNC after she denied it and mocked Trump about it for over a year. Here is Pocahontas, who has zero Native American blood in her. Here it is.
Today from former Democratic National Committee Chairwoman Donna Brazile that the Clinton campaign, in her view, did rig the presidential nominating process by entering into an agreement to control day-to-day operations at the DNC. The Clinton campaign controlling the party's staffing, strategy, finances, communications, and that agreement was entered into in August 2015, a year before she defeated Senator Bernie Sanders. This must shock you.
Look, this is a real problem. But what we've got to do as Democrats now is we've got to hold this party accountable. When Tom Perez was first elected chair of the DNC, the very first conversation I had with him is to say, you have got to put together a Democratic Party in which everybody can have confidence that the party is working for Democrats rather than Democrats are working for the party. And he's being tested now. This is a test for Tom Perez. And either he's going to succeed by bringing Bernie Sanders and Bernie Sanders representatives into this process, and they're going to say it's fair, it works, we all believe it, or he's going to fail. And I very much hope he succeeds. I hope for Democrats everywhere.
Right.
I hope for Bernie and for all of Bernie's supporters that he's going to succeed.
Very quickly, Senator.
That's Jake Tapper, who just said that right after the truck attack that Allah Akbar is so beautiful. That's a quote. It's so, normally, so beautiful. Coming up, we have a powerful clip from back at the DNC when almost all the protesters weren't against InfoWars. They weren't mad at us there. We had people buying our crew beer. 95% of the demonstrators were real. They weren't Antifa that they send out to attack people that the DNC sends out, that Soros does. They were real people. And they were saying, we're going voting for Trump. And Hillary, it's over for you, scumbag. And it's over for the Democratic Party. Well, they all arrogantly thought they could steal it one more time and now have turned their party into a coastal elite party that is even beginning to lose they could completely be gone as a party within another 4 years. And you know me, folks, I don't put perfume on pigs. Coming up, we got the video, look right there, of the superdelegate bragging in February 12th, how they would steal the election. I mean, it's just, we have them. But first, we've got the Bernie supporters back in back in last year at the DNC saying, you're going to lose and we're coming for you, Witch. And boy, were they proven right. Hour number 2 straight ahead. Spread the word. It's an act of resistance. Break the censorship blockades. Attention, devil worshippers. Attention, methos. Attention, Antifa scum. We're fully aware of the globalist funding or operation to push for a violent revolution in America. That's why InfoWars will be covering your so-called operations this Saturday live from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. with exclusive streams at newswars.com, infowars.com, and prisonplanet.com. We'll have our intrepid team of reporters, analysts, and researchers here at the ATX Command Center in Austin. But we'll also have reporters on the ground in major cities. We will be there to chronicle these degenerate abominations as they attempt to launch their filthy Bolshevik Revolution Part 2, which will be a dead birth on arrival. So whatever you do, my fellow modern Paul Reveres of every race, color, and creed, spread the word to Infowars.com, Newswars.com, and our live coverage coming up this Saturday.